I made it down to Quirk Chevrolet with a long trip on the T and then on a bus, although both the T. We're going to go check out my Chevy Volt, which I'm really excited about. So that's what's coming up right now. Let's go check it out. Hi folks, Sam here, and welcome along my journey down to Braintree, Massachusetts on the Red Line and then on a bus to pick up my brand new 2017 Chevy Volt. I've actually been driving the car for a couple of weeks now. I went down there a couple of weeks ago and on a cold and blustery day, as you'll see later in this shot. But I am so impressed with the car. In so many ways, it brings me up to the 21st century. As you saw in an earlier video, I got rid of my old Subaru wagon, which was a 1999, literally a 20th century car. And I'm just thrilled by the new Volt. It's great, it's quick, it's got all kinds of internal gizmos that make it work great, including Apple CarPlay, which I've never experienced before. And it handles the road very well. And most of all, I think from the Enviro side of me, you get to do all your local driving on electric, so that's great. Here's the video, here's the trip. It's a wonderful car, I had a wonderful experience. And Shane, who was at Quirk, walked me through everything. So enjoy it, and see you soon. And once again, we're at Quirk. It's the new Chevy Volt. Very exciting. Very exciting. There you go. And I'm out here with Shane from Quirk Chevrolet.
Hello. And
Shane, why don't you? The car's right over here. We're going to take a look at it in just a second. But why don't you talk to us a little bit about the car and what we got here?
The 2017 Chevrolet Volt, an extended range vehicle, 53 miles of the EV range, combined 420 miles between the gas and the EV range. 4 different modes: normal, sport, mountain, and hold mode. Very well equipped vehicle, comes standard with the backup camera, Bluetooth. You also have the Apple and Android CarPlay, as well as the My Chevrolet application, which allows you to lock, unlock, and automatic start your vehicle off from your phone. Also comes with a 120 charger. You plug into any 3-prong receptacle in your home, so you don't need any type of fancy charging equipment with the vehicle. Just buy it and go.
Sweet. And what's been the demand recently? It sounds like it's been pretty busy with the Volts and the Bolts and everything.
Right now, they're both very popular vehicles. A lot of good rebates from the state as well as the federal government. Right now, the Volts definitely are outselling the Bolts. So with that being said, because it has the extended range, this particular vehicle doesn't give you the same type of range anxiety that the Volt would give you, even though the Volt does come with 238 miles of EV range, but it does not have a gas backup. So with the Volt, you're able to go wherever you want with no limitations.
This is super exciting. So this is the car, and this is actually the car that I'm going to be getting. Why don't we sit in it real quick, and you can just walk me around the interior a tiny bit here. And also, what's the this kind of a slate gray or a metallic gray? Is that what this exterior color is?
Yes.
We got all the pings and the bings and everything. And I got to confess, I'm just learning how all this different stuff. So that's going to take me a little while. But yeah, Shane, go ahead and point out some things here, maybe on the dash and some other stuff that's kind of cool.
First, we're going to turn on the vehicle, put your foot on the brake, and then we'll hit the power button. It's the push to start.
That's kind of a crazy sound.
Now with this vehicle, with it being the push to start, you have your touchscreen. You also have the comfort package in this vehicle. So therefore, you'll have the heated seats, passenger and driver, as well as a heated steering wheel. Now you also will have your touchscreen with the radio, AM, FM, as well as the Sirius XM radio, Bluetooth app, text messaging app. That way you can receive text and also send text messages hands-free on the road as you go, so you don't have to worry about the texting and driving anymore. This would be your projection screen when plugged in through the USB with the 2 USB ports right in front. You'd be able to access the Apple and Android CarPlay. Now you would also have your OnStar functions, emergency roadside hazards, advisor, and this vehicle comes with Wi-Fi, so that would be your Wi-Fi hotspot settings.
That's cool. And what's this thing been? I take it you've driven these things a little bit.
I have.
And what's your experience with them?
They're a lot of fun. With the instant torque that they have great pickup. The vehicle gets out of its own way. Driving an electric vehicle is different than driving your typical gas engine vehicle. It's a totally different ride. Very quiet, smooth, and fast.
Yeah.
Now you'll have your driver information screen where it shows you the EV range, which is indicated by the green, and then you'll have your gas, which is by the blue. So right now with this vehicle, with everything running, you have 42 miles left of the EV range, and as far as your gas, you have 394.
All right, that's super exciting. And it'll plug and charge, but you can also regen while you're driving, right? Isn't one of these paddles does a regen thing on it?
Back left-hand side of the steering wheel, you'll have your regen button. That typically is used as a handbrake, and it would slow you down, bring you almost to a complete stop. That's the most efficient way to drive the vehicle, especially if you do any city driving with the stop and go between the red lights, the traffic, the stop signs. So you'd be able to keep the juice in your vehicle just with the regen brake. And they also have what's called one pedal driving. You'll put the vehicle in low gear, and every time you take your foot off of the gas pedal, the vehicle will automatically go into the regen mode. And the regen mode is great for your vehicle because you're going to save a lot of life on the brake pads and whatnot, because with the system that they have for the regeneration, it's pretty much the engines just working in reverse against each other to slow down the vehicle. So you're not actually using, when you use the regen brake, you're not actually using your brake pads and rotors. So you'll save a lot of life as far as your brake pads and rotors. And with a vehicle like this, the cost of ownership is very low. Oil changes are not as frequent. Less maintenance because you don't have as many components as you do with the gas vehicle. So you're going to save yourself a lot of money just on out-of-pocket expenses from the vehicle.
That's great. Let's walk around the outside real quick. Let's take a look at it. So what are some things to point out here while we're looking at this?
Well, you have the beautiful heather gray color, which has been one of the more popular colors for the Volt. Now you also, on top of the push to stop, you also have the lock keyless entry. So when the vehicle is turned off, you'll just be able to click this button. You'll be able to lock the vehicle as well as unlock the vehicle. You'll have your charging point. So this is where you would plug up, and then from there you'd plug the system into there and then into any 3-prong receptacle you have in your home.
Super exciting, yeah.
And then this is just where your gas tank would be. Now the vehicle does have,
let's pop open the back, yeah,
trunk space.
Yeah.
And the seats do fold down on a 60-40 split if you do need the additional storage.
Yeah, go ahead and fold one of those down. Nice. And I just want to thank you a whole lot. You've been great in this whole process. Got all the way through it, and you got me into a car. It's been 18 years since I last got a new car. My old Subaru, you've heard me talk about it on some of these, is great, but this is stepping into the 21st century, so
Good.
really excited.
I'm glad you're excited. Now get out of here and then go enjoy this vehicle.
Yeah, you bet.